Hey guys, it's Akila and I am back with another video. I know we have been away for a few months. Dealing with school and midterms and work has been extremely difficult, but you will definitely love this video. It's going to act as a part 2 for our article, Good Love versus Bad Love. So in this video, I will be talking all about relationships and healthy versus unhealthy actions. So if you think that you may be in an unhealthy relationship, then you might want to stick around and watch this video. Okay, so in our article, Good Love versus Bad Love, we talk about healthy versus unhealthy relationships. And this video is just going to be a repeat of all of that with a tidbit more information. So without further ado, what is good love? What is it? Is it love that makes you feel like really tingly? Is it love that gives you butterflies in your stomach? Is it love that puts a smile on your face? What is it? And the answer is yes, that is what good love is. It puts a smile on your face, it makes you feel nice and tingly, and it gives you butterflies in your stomach. But that's not all that it is. Good love is when you're with someone who can support you, with someone who encourages you, you're with someone who can laugh with you, sometimes laugh at you if you're in a very comfortable relationship where you're both jokesters. That's not necessarily a terrible thing. Good love is when you're with someone who understands that sometimes you have issues that they can't help you with. You have things that you're going through in your life that maybe sometimes you need space, and in a healthy relationship, you're with someone who says, okay, you need space right now and I'm going to give you that space, but just know if you need me, I'm right here and you can talk to me whenever you're ready. You are in a positive relationship when your significant other checks in on you and says, hey, how are you doing? And of course, anyone can check in and say, how are you doing? But especially for survivors of sexual assault, it feels nice for someone to say, hey, how are you doing today? You know, is everything all right? Do you need me to do anything for you? Would you like to talk to me about something? Or do you want to talk to me? I can definitely listen for as long as you need me to listen. So for survivors, that's really important because it's very important for us to know that people care and people care about how we're feeling physically and mentally. You know you're in a positive relationship when your partner is encouraging you on your road to recovery. So being a survivor of sexual assault is extremely difficult because there are a lot of things that you're going to have to deal with emotionally and physically. Maybe before the assault, you were a person who loved to hang out and you loved to explore, and maybe now after the assault, all you would like to do is just stay home because you're too scared of going out. So if you're with someone who says, okay, you don't like going out, fine, we can hang out in your house or wherever you're comfortable with until you get to the stage where you want to go to the park, maybe to the movies, or we can start small. Maybe we could hang out in your backyard, or maybe the park across the street from your house, and we could branch out, but all when you're ready. That's when you know you're in a positive relationship. When they see the things that you're dealing with and they help you with it. They don't push you or say, you're not recovering fast enough. Come on. Because that's definitely not very good. Good love is a love where, or a relationship rather, where you feel comfortable and when the partner is asking for your consent, especially when it comes to sex. When they're asking you for your consent and when they're checking in on you and when they want to know your do's or don'ts and when they want to know where you draw the line. That is what good love is. Now let's talk about bad love, the dreaded bad love, the love that no one should have to deal with, but unfortunately people do. So here are the 5 main flags of bad love. The first would be you're with someone who, or you were with someone, but for argument's sake, let's just do things in the present tense. So you're with someone who is obsessive, you're with someone who is extremely jealous, you're with someone who is coercive or manipulative, you're with someone who is abusive emotionally and physically, and last but not least, you're with someone who isolates you from family and friends. So first, let's talk about obsessive behaviors. Obsessive behaviors is when your partner is constantly calling you, constantly texting you, or constantly asking other people to check in on you. When they always want to know where you are at a certain time, when they tell you to be somewhere at a certain time, and when they want you to do things a certain way. Like, for example, when they want you to wear your hair a certain way, or where they want you to wear a certain type of shoes, or when they don't want you to wear a certain type of shoes, and when they're trying to control every aspect of your life, that is a big red flag. In a relationship, it's important for your partner to understand that you are an independent person. You are allowed to make your own decisions, and you are allowed to decide for yourself. When you have someone else who's trying to make those decisions for you, you need to analyze and ask yourself, is this a relationship I want to be in? Because this is a very big red flag and it's unhealthy. You should not have to deal with someone who wants to control you, and they want to control how you act when you're with them and when you're not with them. Next, you have a partner who is extremely jealous, and it could probably, they're jealous about your accomplishments, you know, the things that you like to do. They could be jealous about the people you spend your time with. We have this thing in our society that says when a partner gets extremely jealous, it means that they love you. And no, that is very, very, very unhealthy behavior, and it can be very stressful when you're with someone who's always questioning everything because they're insecure. And if this is an issue that you're dealing with, please, please, please know that this is not your fault. You're not the one at fault here. They are. They're projecting their insecurities on you in order to make them feel better. And so if you're dealing with extreme jealousy in your relationship, you really need to talk to your partner. Or if it's at the point where it's driving you absolutely crazy, then it might be best for you to end the relationship. If your partner is coercing you into having sex and they're saying, you know, if you don't have sex with me, I'm gonna break up with you, then let them. Because would you rather be with someone who wants to force you into things, or would you want to be with someone who respects your boundaries and understands that there are going to be certain things you're not ready for? If the worst thing your partner can do is break up with you because you don't want to have sex with them, then that should tell you all you need to know about them. And, you know, it should tell you that they're selfish and they don't care about anyone or anyone else's feelings except for their own. And so fine, let them break up with you, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be someone else who is going to be 1,000 times better and who's going to respect you way more than your stupid idiot partner. So another big red flag is if they're abusive emotionally and physically. So let's break this down. So I'm going to start with emotional abuse first. Emotional abuse can pretty much range anywhere from insults, coercion, and manipulation. So first, let's start with the easy things, the easy to identify things, which is insults. So if they're saying, you know, you're fat, you're not pretty, or you act like a girl, you're not man enough, or, you know, oh, you do too much of this, you do too much of that. Those are red flags saying that person is emotionally abusive. And what they want to do is put you down to make them feel better. Emotional abuse can also, like I said before, can deal with manipulation. So if they're saying, if you love me, you would do this, or if you love me, you would talk to me about this because I'm the most important person in your life and you have to tell me everything. You have to do everything for me or with me or whatever. That's not very healthy. No one should ever force you into doing something you're not ready to do. No one should be putting you down. They should be encouraging you and supporting you and telling you positive things. Now, with physical abuse, obviously is much more it's easier to identify because it's physical. So if they're hurt, if they're hitting you, if they're grabbing you, kicking you, punching you, spitting on you, if they're doing any kind of act against you, any violent act that's physical, then that is a big red flag. Sometimes you have abusers who say that's the first time, I'm not going to do it again. But that's a lie, because they will do it again. It's a pattern that we see in a lot of abusive relationships. So if that's the case, First, you need to know that you are not alone and that this is not your fault and that this is something that you cannot handle on your own and that you need support of friends and family members. So if you can and if you're able to, please, please, please talk to your friends and family and, come up with a way to extricate yourself from this relationship. You can always talk to us. Of course, there's no way for us to physically be there, but we will definitely help you find solutions, and talk to your friends and family members if you're comfortable, also to help you find solutions as well. Another sign of a bad relationship or bad love is when you're with a partner who likes to isolate you, and that means slowly cutting you off from family and friends. And it could start very innocently until the point where you are realizing, wait a second, I haven't seen my friends and family in a really long time. So it could start with, do you have to hang out with your friends today? Do you have to go to your bowling club every single week? You can just hang out with me, right? We can just hang out together. It starts off with things like that, and a person will go, okay, fine, okay, until it's something that happens every other week, then every Thursday, then every single day, then every month, every year, until you get to a point where you haven't spoken to anyone besides your partner in months or days or years or weeks or whatever. If someone is trying to isolate you, it basically means that all they want is you for themselves, and that's a very selfish thing to do. They need to realize that you should be allowed to have other relationships, because that's how humans function. We function from being around other people and having positive energy around us. And so you as a person, you need to grow and you need to flourish. And you cannot do that when you're around one person who's trying to control you and isolate you and doesn't want you around anyone else. You need people around you who are positive influences. So if your partner is trying to isolate you, then that is a red flag. Okay, so let's recap. Obsessive behavior, red flag. Extreme jealousy, red flag. Coercive or manipulative behavior or tendencies, red flag. Emotional or physical abuse, red flag. Big red flag, red flag. Last but not least, isolating you from family and friends, red flag. All very bad. Those are a few signs that you are in a terrible relationship. You are in an unhealthy relationship, and that is bad love. And so, to conclude, I just want to give a message to all the Uniwarrior followers out there. So if you have been in an unhealthy relationship, or if you are in an unhealthy relationship, we just want you to know it's not your fault. Unfortunately, these things happen, and sometimes it takes a while for these red flags to pop up. You have things that start off really well, and then towards the end, by the time you're ready to break up with the person, or when they're breaking up with you, that's when you realize that the relationship was unhealthy. And so if this was a situation you were in, then I definitely commend you. We commend you for getting through it and for surviving. Please don't feel bad, and please don't feel guilty, because at least now you know what to look out for. It was not your fault, and we hope that you're able to grow from the experience, and in your next relationship, we hope that you enter something that's really positive and healthy. If you are currently in an unhealthy relationship, we really advise you to stay strong and to believe in yourself. When someone is projecting their insecurities onto you, it's very easy for you to fall into a kind of mind state where you're thinking that everything is your fault. Please know that whether you believe it or not, you have people who love you and support you. And even though you don't know us personally, Uniwarrior is here because we love people. We want to help people, and our blog is all about dedicating our time to helping survivors of sexual assault and of abuse, and we care. So if this is a situation that you're currently in, if you have friends or family that you can talk to, please, 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 please talk to them. Or if you feel uncomfortable doing that, then we're always here. We can help you come up with solutions, whether you're private messaging us or emailing us, or if you're on and on, we're more than happy to help. This is a very tricky situation. Is no easy quick fix, but what we can say is that just make sure that there is someone, anyone who knows, what you're going through. So we hope this video was really informative. If there are any questions, you can always ask us on our Tumblr blog. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.